Hello! How is everybody tonight? So, I have a daily show, mainly about gaming. I do a lot of other random geeky stuff, but the majority of my content's about gaming. That being said, I suppose I should probably talk about the controversy. There is controversy today. It turns out that one of the people who was a contributor, a consultant really, on the new basic D&D rules is not well loved by a large number of people. He is well loved by another group of people, but he has occasionally said things, he's actually fairly often said things I disagree with, and has said unkind things about some of my friends. So, he's not high on my list right now. That said, he was a consultant on D&D. That doesn't mean D&D sucks. Doesn't mean that the new edition of D&D is somehow tainted by his presence. And I find the people that are saying, well, I can't buy the new D&D because he was talked to. I can't actually agree with that. I just don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. A bunch of people worked on that game. A whole lot of really talented, really smart people worked on that game. People who have very enlightened views on various subjects worked on that game. And, not to put too fine a point on it, but while he does have some views that are, let's say, not the most enlightened views as far as gender and the role of such things in gamers, and he's been known to say some things that are pretty controversial along those lines. You know what? It apparently didn't make it into the damn game. So his influence in that regard didn't actually do anything. So, why the hell are you people angry? I mean, I guarantee you there are assholes who worked on so many things that you love, that you use every day, that you have to use. From computers to cars to video games. I guarantee you there are people somewhere along the way that have views that would make you sick to your stomach that have interacted with some of the stuff you have to deal with every day. People that make this fellow seem enlightened. But you don't turn your nose up to all of those other things that you deal with, and now you're taking something that you ostensibly love because you're a gamer and turning up your nose at it because somebody talked to him once. Really? And I get trying to avoid rewarding people for having views that are not okay. I get that. I get not wanting to give them a microphone, an association. I get that. I do. And on some levels I agree. And if the guy was the lead developer or something along those lines, I might actually say, all right, might want to rethink dealing with it. But the guy was a consultant on a game with lots of people. And there were, some really intelligent, talented people involved. And the game, so far as I've seen, is making big strides. Big strides in talking about social issues in a way that is intelligent. I'm going to read you something here because I think it's important. This is from the book, okay? Sex. You can play a male or female character without gaining any special benefits or hindrances. Think about how your character does or does not conform to the broader cultural expectations of sex, gender, and sexual behavior. For example, a male drow cleric defies the traditional gender divisions of drow society, which could be a reason for your character to leave the society and come to the surface. You don't need to be confined to binary notions of sex and gender. The elf god Corellian Lorethian is often seen as androgynous or hermaphroditic, for example. And some elves in the multiverse are made in Corellian's image. You could also play a female character who presents herself as a man who feels trapped in a female body, or a bearded female dwarf who hates being mistaken for a male. Likewise, your character's sexual orientation is for you to decide. Okay. Clearly they're going in a direction of inclusiveness as far as sex and identity. So, any negative effects you think this guy had didn't make it into the final product. I get making a stand and making an issue of people who are on a spectrum that you don't agree with, that you think needs to be done away with. I often do it myself. I don't spend time, promoting the signal of Orson Scott Card, because he has said some things and written some things in essays that I find offensive. Which is a shame, because he wrote a really good book. But the thing is, I'm not going to stop reading DC Comics altogether because he wrote a story for them once. Not everybody is guilty by association. You have to draw a line somewhere. And I think the people who are saying they're not going to deal with D&D because a consultant was somebody that has presented some views that they find offensive, I'm sorry, you're being a bit ridiculous. I'm not saying you have to play it. Everybody's got their own choices, but waving the flag about it means that you're opening up your views for critique. And in this particular case, I think your views are wrong. There are plenty of good reasons to get the new D&D. There are a lot of good people who worked on it. And you're insulting the hell out of all of them by lumping them in with this one guy. I am a little annoyed by the whole situation. I'm annoyed that it became a thing. And like I said, the guy is not in my happy box right now. He has insulted friends of mine. I'm not going to direct any traffic to his page. I'm not going to really do anything to direct traffic to him. You can find out if you look around. It took me a while to find out, honestly, because most people take that view. But you can find out who I'm talking about if you look around. He's listed as a consultant on the game. I don't care for some of the things he's done and some of the things he said. I don't think that his presence in any way taints the good work that people have done. And I don't think that his existence needs to be, pariah, needs to be a pariah for the rest of his life. I won't, engage with him on some things because I don't like what he's done, but come on. He is not a child molester. He is not actually murdering people in his basement. Let's grow some perspective here. He said some really offensive and insulting things to people. Alright, fine. Don't work with him. But give the rest of the guys who worked on D&D a break. Because clearly they're on the right track on some things. And that need to, maybe you can overlook this one guy in favor of all these other cool people that worked on it and all the cool things that they're doing. That's my view, and I was a little more ranty than I thought I would be when I started out tonight. I don't know why I felt like I needed to rant about it, but I did. Oh well. I guess tomorrow I will have something more pleasant to talk about. Today was the 4th of July. I got to have burgers. The weather was nice-ish. Too much sunlight. But it was nice-ish. Yeah. I don't have a whole lot to complain about today. So, beyond this, obviously. But hope you all have a better day tomorrow. And that everybody stayed safe on the holiday. And that you will subscribe. And if you disagree with me, feel free to argue. I'm okay with that. I kind of like arguing. You may have heard from people, I like arguing. Just as long as you keep it polite. And, I don't feel like getting into a flame war or anything, but if you want to be polite about it, fine. I'll be glad to argue with you if you disagree with me. But otherwise, have a good night. Subscribe, like, share with all the friends, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.